I'm at Chicago, coming at you to sit down first. Like to start by giving all praise and glory to Yahweh,
Hashem, Yahushua.
Double honors to the apostle of Great Millstone. Salutation to all you Akim around the four corners of this earth, preaching the truth with sincerity. So we're just going to hop into this lesson about the Israelites and the prophets and the Lord, all so-called black men.
All right, this Lamentations 4:8. It says their visage is blacker than a coal, and that word visage means appearance or face. You know what I'm saying? And it says that their visage is blacker than coal, which is also the word the R, which means face or appearance. You know what I'm saying? And it says they are not known in the streets because we was once royal, but since we disobeyed the Lord and broke His commandments, basically we was put into a lower state. Their skin cleaved to their bones, it is withered, it has become like a stick. So basically, it's just saying that our skin tone is stick to us. You know what I'm saying? That's our skin color.
I got one right here. This is Genesis 2:7. It says, and the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. It says, and the Lord God formed man of dust and of ground. The ground is all different shades of brown. Like the book said, red sand or white sand.
God, this Job 30:30, and this is Job speaking. It says, my skin is black upon me, and my bones are burnt with heat. So basically, Job was a so-called black man also. You know what I'm saying? A man of dark complexion, which is fadar in Hebrew, which means dark skin, and his bones burned with heat just means that he was going through affliction. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord was trying him and testing him.
This is the Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black but comely, O you daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. That's saying Solomon was saying I am black but comely, man. So that's a prophet right there. But this shows you that Israelites was black man.
This Exodus chapter 4 verse 6, it says, and the Lord Yahweh said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand into his bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. So the Lord had changed his skin tone, right? And it says, and he said, verse 7, and he said, put thy hand into thy bosom again. And he put his hand into his bosom again and plucked it out of his bosom. And behold, it was turned again as his other flesh. So that shows that Moses was a so-called black man also. You know what I'm saying? First his hand was turned leprous as snow. You know what I'm saying? But then it was turned back as his other flesh. So originally he was a so-called black man.
I got Jeremiah 14:2, it says, Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish, they are blackened to the ground, and the city of Jerusalem is like, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up. It says Judah mourneth, because our people out here fucked up, man. It says, and the gates thereof languish. We live in these slums and in these ghettos, And then it says, they are blackened to the ground, blackened to the ground. It's going back into the dirt, which is all shades of brown. It says, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
This Hosea chapter 7 verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself. No, he had Salakia. This is Hosea chapter 7, verse 8. Ephraim, he had mixed himself among the people. Ephraim is a cake not turned. And basically, that means that there's light skin and dark skin Ephraimites. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, the light skinned people, you know what I'm saying, that come around, you know what I'm saying, they still black people also. They just a lighter shade of brown. You know what I'm saying? This is Jeremiah chapter 12 verse 9. It says, my heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. So basically a speckled bird, meaning it's light skinned black people, and that is brown skinned and it's dark skinned black people. You know what I'm saying? Different shades of brown. It says the birds round about her are against her, and that's talking about these other nations. Come ye assemble, all the beasts of the field come to devour. You know.
This is Jeremiah 8:21. It says, for the hurt of the daughter of my people am I. I am black, or astonished have taken hold on me. You know, and that was Jeremiah speaking, man. Another prophet. Shows you all throughout scriptures that Israelites is so-called black color. You know, so where do you get this blonde hair, blue-eyed dude from? You get all these images of these disciples and all of the prophets. You know, all on Google they whitewash, man.
God, and to prove that this is like the brother said, that how where in the world do you get these whitewashed prophets? You know what I'm saying? This is Job 9:24. It says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and that's the so-called white man today, which Esau Edom, and he don't, and it's gonna go into it. It says he covered the faces of the judges thereof. Moses was a judge. Jeremiah was a judge. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I was the biggest judge.
Khan, the spirit of prophecy and stuff. And the thing is that they covered the faces thereof just so they could take away our history, so we wouldn't know who we are. But we coming back to knowing who we are. You know what I'm saying? This white man can't handle it. You know. It says thereof, if not, where and who is he? So if that ain't the so-called, I mean, so like if that ain't the so-called white man, then who is he? You know what I'm saying? But this is the white man that's so-called doing this. Esau Edom. You know, he's whitewashing the true complexion of the prophets. You know. All right, this is Revelations chapter 1 verse 13. It says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girded about paps with a girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool. You know, so it ain't finna be no long, blonde, stringy hair. You know what I'm saying? He said white like wool. So what is wool? Wool is like this texture and my brother's texture. You know what I'm saying? And it says as white as snow. So he had much wisdom. His eyes were as a flame of fire, because he angry, because, you know, these our brethren, you know, the Israelites are in this folly, and they don't want to come back to the law, statutes, commandments. And it says, in his feet like unto fine brass. Brass is like a burnt orange color. You know what I'm saying? And it says as if they burned in a furnace. And once you put brass in the furnace, what color does it turn afterwards? It turns black. So your so-called Jesus Christ, which his real name is Yahweh Shai, was a so-called black man also, man, from the tribe of Judah. And it says, and his voice as the sound of many waters. So, you know, when he lifted up his voice like a trumpet also, man. I got it. This is Matthew chapter 2 verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord Yahweh appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, "Arise and take the young child and his mother and flee into Egypt, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word. For Herod will seek the young child to destroy him." So basically, Yahweh went up to Egypt because the Egyptians have dark skin, and that's how he was going to be able to mingle in and mix himself and hide himself in Egypt. You know what I'm saying? Because he had dark skin. Can't no so-called white man do that. You know.
Okay. This is the story of Jacob and Esau. You know, and the skin color. This says, and I'm started 21. Nah, I'm gonna go straight to the point there. It's Genesis 25 and 25. And the verse came out red all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. And after that, his brother out, and his hand took hold on Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob, and Isaac was threescore old when she bare him. So it stated Esau's skin color, man, it said it came over red all like a hairy garment because, you know, people wasn't used to seeing that, you know. They was used to seeing dark-skinned men. That's why I didn't have to say Jacob's skin color, because it was a normal skin color. It was the norm. Alright, we can close on that, please.
Alright, what's up?
So with that, we're going to give all praise and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushua.
Double honors to the apostles of great millstone. Salutation to all you Akim out here on the four corners of the earth, preaching the truth with true sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom. Abad the ball.